Hey guys, Brian Good here. Before we get into the weather, a quick reminder about Kentucky's darkest day, the total solar eclipse we've been working on for 5 years. We've been down there preparing for this event, and the 1 month countdown is Friday, which is hard to believe. Seems like just yesterday I was down there. But anyway, the event coming up on Friday, we're going to have the Louisville Astronomical Society there. They're going to have one of those solar telescopes to where you can actually see the sun as it appears on Friday through the scope, and a lot of information they passed on about the eclipse in general, and some solar glasses as well to give out to use on the day of the eclipse, which again is on August 21st. Again, it's at the Western Library in downtown Louisville. Bring the kids. Everybody can come down. It's welcome for all ages, but the kids, I'm sure, really get a kick out of it. But I'll be down there as well doing the weather live for the midday shows coming up, so you just may end up on TV in the background there, or perhaps even on TV as we're setting up for this again on Friday. So I just want to make sure to spread the word on that. All right, so let's get into the weather side of things. And similar to yesterday where we got some showers passing through, they were kind of fading in and out. There's just a little weak wave passing in from, I would say, Evansville to Louisville. That looks to be the aiming target that it has, dropping to the southeast. So Louisville itself, I mean, we got some decent sun now, but we'll be clipped by some of these clouds, and there is a chance that an outflow or something from one of these downpours may try to spark something a little closer to Louisville itself. But if the current trajectory holds, it will likely pass us just to our west of 65 there. But we'll monitor that. You can kind of see a water view how it's just a very small little feature passing through. This is the last one of these little features because the high that's back here to the west is going to be becoming the dominant weather factor for us starting tomorrow into Friday. And once it moves overhead, that activity can't dive down to us anymore. We're out of the scope of reach at that point. All right, so this is it. Hopefully we get some rain out of this. And it doesn't look hopefully promising at the moment. Let me show you some of the higher res models though. Here's the HER model. It has a decent handle on it, dropping in. Takes it down to the south, as you'll see here in a second. My computer's thinking about it. The little small complex will feed on the better moisture fields and dive all the way down into the western Kentucky area. Now, as it does so, you know, the models have been hitting for a while that it should likely fade out, and then new development would then pop, as you see there around 2:30. Again, mainly western Kentucky, but you can see a few little specks closer to Louisville. It's possible, but I really think overall this is going to be west of 65 kind of event for today. And then anything that does develop, it's out of here. And here's the moisture levels at 700. Really outlines well where the rain chance would be. This is your moist air right in through here, and this is what it's going to be feeding off. It's basically along and west of 65 and very dry air east of 65. So if you're east of town, you'll be fine here for today. This is mainly a western section here of wave country kind of a deal. When you look at the RPM, though, looking ahead, it has a similar deal, by the way, but not as organized for the stuff to pop in western Kentucky. It's very popcorny with its pop-ups, but in the same general spot, along and west 65. So the RPM has a general idea of where the better moisture is for anything to even happen. It just doesn't, it's struggling where to put the pop-ups at. So that's why the rain chance has to stay low for now. And then as we get to Thursday, quiet weather. Any thunderstorm action, again, will be way to our east as the high builds in to the area and keeps us protected. And you can see signs of that at 700 millibar level for tomorrow. Here's the high pressure at that level. The dry air over Kentucky now, all your better moisture for any downpours way to our north. This drier air will allow the thermometer then to surge. So easily hitting the mid-90s starting tomorrow. As we get into Friday, the high itself right over us. Now we'll begin to get a slant to everything here. So these thunderstorms on Friday will have a chance to form, and they'll track southeast along that boundary. Now I can't rule out one or two that may end up getting involved here, say around Jennings County to Lexington, and maybe in Franklin County. There's a possibility. We'll monitor that. Otherwise, the high should be strong enough to keep us out of the realm of that storm zone just to our northeast. But it's not going to be far away from us. And then on Saturday, everything becomes zonal. Flattens things out here. Still a lot of dry air over our area. So another day where a lot of sun is going to take place. Easily climb into the mid-90s. So it's a very hot setup for us and very little in the way of rainfall. Until we get to next week. And this is where the problems come in. I think we'll start to see the thunderstorm chance enter the picture a little more prevalent on Sunday. But the high, the Euro here, it still has that high up to eastern Canada. And it still hinted that thunderstorms would blossom here in the mid-Atlantic and move backwards, like a backwards MCS that would feed right into the heat shield and the humidity back into Tennessee and Kentucky. It's still showing signs of that. However, the GFS, hitting the Canadian as well, a little more traditional with the trough digging in and any thunderstorm activity developing from the west and dropping in. So still some disagreements with the Euro being the outliner, but it has been consistent as well. So that's something to watch for early next week and see how that will evolve. That'll be interesting to map out. But between now and then, the heat's going to be the big deal. The heat index criteria again, 105 for at least 3 consecutive hours is our heat advisory criteria for our area. There are some exceptions to that. If you're averaging out 103 for 3 or 4 days in a row, they could easily issue a heat advisory for that because it takes a toll on the body after a while. So there's a lot of discussion now with the Weather Service about how they're going to handle the heat this week, whether or not they'll issue an advisory or not. So just stay tuned. We'll keep you updated on that. Air quality is in effect. The alert is for the city of Louisville till midnight. I'm waiting to see if they'll issue one for tomorrow. I have a feeling they will. So as soon as that comes down, I'll send out a note on social media to let you guys know about that. I think it'll be one of many air quality alerts we'll have this week. But overall, the actual air temperature, I still think about 96 is going to be our max. It will depend on how dry the ground becomes, if we can exceed that or not. And that's a possibility, but I don't see it being anywhere close to what some of the models are indicating, which is like 101, 102. I don't see that. I think 96, maybe 97. But 96, I think, is going to be our limit on this heat wave coming through. And that's hot enough. All right, guys, that's it for today. We'll see how it all looks coming up tomorrow.